Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Backlog Banter. We just watched the Nintendo Direct Mini Partner Showcase for September of 2020. There might have been another one earlier this month. I can't remember how long ago the first one or the second one was. Uh, no, I guess it was August. Yeah,
No, I don't think it was.
no, I do think they're doing one a month. So I do think it was August. But that's aside the point because there was one this morning either way. And they kind of brought their A game day, about their whatever is above A, I would say. This was by far, by multiple magnitudes, the best partner showcase.
Well, I think it speaks to the fact that I will remember that this one happened in September because it was fucking great. The other ones are like they really felt like small little interstitial things
Yeah.
that had promise, but this was that promise realized.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm writing about DMC 5 Special Edition right now, so let's say that this was a triple S rank showcase.
Ah,
I
okay.
really don't think that this could have been improved upon, frankly.
Yeah.
I think that they nailed the pace of the show. I think they had an avalanche of important announcements,
Oh, yeah.
and I think that it made sense. This showcase really made sense. I do have to say though, I think a good portion of that, I don't know if you agree with this, is because Nintendo revealed their plans for the year, so that was already set.
Sure. Well, no, I do think that even if they hadn't said announced 30 All
Yeah,
Stars, Age of Calamity, whatever, this still would have been a very important showcase. I mean,
true.
sincerely, a lot of these announcements are from major franchises, most of which are Japanese. I rewatched the showcase, so it's a lot of Japanese games, but that doesn't distract from the fact that there's a lot of big games announced here. I mean, seriously, we might not be fans of the series, but Disgaea 6 is a big deal. Rune
That's a big
Factory
deal.
5 was announced, but
Big deal.
officially shown off today. That's a big deal. Two new Monster Hunter games, which is more than I think anyone was even expecting. And of course, an Ori port and a couple of other things sprinkled throughout. Um, I'm gonna pretend like I didn't see that. But the only thing that I think was missing was the thing that I think people were, for some reason, expecting the most was a Mass Effect trilogy. For some reason, not here today, though that doesn't mean much for me. I know it's important to a lot of people, but that doesn't detract from the fact that this was a very powerful showcase with a lot of good announcements. I mean, we're coming right off the hills of off the heels of yesterday's PS5 presentation, which was also very banger. So it's fun to have two in a row, two wins in a row for the gamers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the gamers need to win. You know what I'm saying?
Gamers rise up.
I'll be careful. I think it was a good showcase overall. I think it's actually a great showcase overall. I think that it cemented to me that Nintendo really is doing a great job getting Japanese support steadily on the Switch because Nintendo has always got an excellent Japanese third-party support on their handhelds, but their home consoles have been really hit or miss recently, especially with
Yeah.
the Wii U and things of that nature. So it's great to see all of these franchises come back. It's great to see things like Disgaea that are often associated with PlayStation have their blowouts here.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of that's really, really cool. Um, have I done anything other than think about Monster Hunter Rise for the past fucking hour and a half? No.
I
Was
haven't
that
thought about it once.
because you think that Ori matters? That's your problem. That's your problem. We'll talk about Ori in a moment.
You know, I've gotten some hate in past videos, but I really hope people slam you for this one because that is a god awful take, and I think you know it, which is the funny part.
I'm not being 100% serious about that. Just because I don't care doesn't mean it's not important. It's allegedly a really good game, you know, another Metroidvania. I'm sure that's really important. But what is important, I'm kidding, by the way, fucking commenters, calm down. Unless you want to mass dislike the video so we get traction, that's fine too. It's your
Sure,
call. I'll leave that ball
gotten
in your
plenty of
court.
that.
But let's start with Monster Hunter because it was first,
Oh
because
wow, yeah,
I think it's obviously the most important announcement.
yeah. I mean
Um,
Ori.
no, we're talking objectively. Monster Hunter Rise is the most important
Yeah, yeah.
announcement. I can no longer let you get away with this fucking heresy. Monster Hunter is a humongous franchise, and world missing Switch was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Capcom pivoting away from Nintendo for Monster Hunter was a big deal because that was the fucking PSP bag, and then it was Nintendo's on 3DS, and then World went everywhere other than Switch. But
Yeah,
now having Rise back here is a really humongous deal. This game is going to be massive. World was massive, and this is taking the quality of life improvements and the game structure of World and putting it on the Switch. And I really
yeah,
think that the hybrid nature is going to service this game very well. Generations Ultimate, I didn't even bother picking up because World fundamentally improved that gameplay so much. To go back to a pre-World format just didn't feel right. So having the post-world enhancements in Rise is going to make this game play incredibly well, and it's gonna be a big deal. This is a big game.
Well, I can let you know one thing. I cannot tell the difference. I mean, obviously, I know what Monster Hunter World looks like visually, but
No.
gameplay-wise, I could not tell you that this is a new game. Looks exact fucking same to me. But that's just because I don't have experience with this series, and I will fully admit that. The one that I think did get me, I am more interested in Monster Hunter Stories 2.
Sure.
I always wanted to try Monster Hunter Stories on the DS, more of a Monster Hunter Pokemon open world sort of, weird mixture in that regard. The idea of Monster Hunter with, grinding up your gear to go hunt monsters, that never really appealed to me. I was thinking I never got into the series, but I'm excited for Stories 2. But I think that proves that, this series does have its grab on different groups, and they announced 2 games today. I'm very surprised by that. I think that's the real. Yeah, and which I did not watch, but I do know that they announced some amiibo. They announced 3 different amiibo.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Stories 2 looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's my biggest takeaway from it. I like Monster Hunter for its spectacle and for its action RPG gameplay. So this is not necessarily my thing, but 2 exclusive Monster Hunter games in 2021 for Switch is big.
Yeah.
That shows a level of support from Capcom that we have been seeing on the smaller scale with their collections and things like that. But for them to bring tentpole games like this to Switch exclusively is huge and very exciting. And those are especially Rise is on a caliber that a lot of Nintendo's biggest games hit in terms of importance, in terms of mass appeal. So I wouldn't be surprised if especially Rise becomes one of 2021's core games.
Sure, yeah. And did we get a release window for that, just 2021?
For Rise?
Yeah.
We got
for either of them, honestly.
We got a release date for
March
Rise.
26th, yeah.
March 26th?
Yeah. Also, the release date for Rune Factory 5.
No, Balan Wonderland, I thought.
Oh, wait, no, that one. Yeah. Those
Wonder
are
World,
right next to each
actually.
other.
But then we just have summer 2021 for Stories 2.
Reasonable. All right, so we've got 6 months to wait till the real Monster Hunter game comes out.
Yeah.
And not Rise. I'm talking about Stories.
But that's more than 6 months away. You can't count. You pleb.
I feel like it's close to the end of the year. This year's been taking a long time. All right, you know what?
What a hot
there
take.
are other games coming closer.
Sure.
Not really ones that I particularly care to engage with.
I'm excited for Hades. If Mario wasn't coming out in as of time recording 12 hours and I didn't buy God of War last night, I would have picked up Hades today.
Yeah.
I just think it's a poor window for that, but Supermassive is just such a great team. I've started to come around more in the game. I thought it looked okay during the last Indie World, but learning more about it and seeing more of it seems like a really compelling roguelite game, so I'm definitely going to check it out at some point.
Yeah.
Then, of course, Sniper Elite, I think, is another one you're talking about that dropped today. A lot of shadow drops today. A lot of shadow drops. We'll get to a big shadow drop in a moment. Sniper Elite games I've played a little bit of at friends' houses, but again, it's just not really my cup of tea. But it's great to see Rebellion supporting the Switch in such a robust way. There are so many fucking sniper games on Switch and Zombie Army trilogy games and things of that nature. So cool for the people that care, and a nice addition to get larger Western third-party support on the console. But
yeah, another super fitness boxing too, something like that. I don't know.
Fitness boxing too.
Yeah.
It's December 4th. What's next?
Yeah. What else?
I mean, that game does have an audience, to be fair.
Yeah, I should know for sure.
Yeah, go for it.
I could not tell you what kind of improvements they added. I mean, obviously they said more trainers or whatever, but it's interesting to see this kind of thing get a sequel on the same console. Usually that kind of activity-based thing would really get something that seems majorly different, which from an outsider's perspective, this does not appear to be. But I mean, hey, if it sells well, good for them. But
I mean, it kind of strikes me as a Wii era game, similar to how we got, not of the same caliber, of course, but similar to how we got Wii Fit Plus to Wii Fit, which was just an expansion upon that first game, or the way that those fucking Zumba games used to come out all the time, or even the way Just Dance is iterative. I know that some people play these consistently. I'd prefer to just actually go to the gym to work out or play Ring Fit, which is I think a more robust and interesting title than this. But for the people that want it, it's interesting that we're getting more.
Yeah. So hopping off of the not interested train, Rune Factory 5 is something that I'm actually a little bit interested in. I'm not familiar with the series at all. I remember seeing the Rune Factory 4 reveal trailer in some direct where they also announced Rune Factory 5 was in development. Rune Factory 4, a 3DS port that looked really not great on Switch. Like that was a sad port, like visually, good God. But this looks actually very, very good. I mean, visually, it's very clean. It isn't necessarily a fully high caliber visually, but I mean, it's still looks fantastic. I'm interested. It's like action RPG gameplay, farming elements, life sim. Like, hey, I like all of those. So honestly, this is one I might give a try. It's a little bit lower in the importance for me, but if it goes on a sale and I'm just happen to be interested, this is definitely one of the ones I'm more interested in personally.
Yeah, this was another one that speaks to the fact that Nintendo got big games in the showcase. But it's
Nintendo
not
Switch
games.
has games.
Nintendo Switch has games. They have a
Yeah.
lot of games that I'm not interested in, and this is just one of them. A lot of people I wrote with at Nintendo are big into Rune Factory, so I know that there's going to probably be a lot of excitement over there at the Nintendo Manor today.
Mm-hmm.
But me, I got my Animal Crossing, I got my Little Dragon Cafe. Do I really need Rune Factory 5? The answer, probably not.
Yeah. But hey, it's out there. And that is, I mean, regardless of either our thoughts on it, it's still a big announcement to a certain group. So good on you, Nintendo.
Empire of Sin.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Are you really not going to talk about Empire of Sin? Yeah, I mean, I don't think we have. All I have to say is that I got really excited for a second because I thought it was Mafia remastered.
Yeah,
that's what I thought it was.
Your interest in that in Mafia as of late has very much intrigued me because I don't know how much you know about the series, but the fact that you were almost excited.
But how would I not be excited? First of all, that remake looks gorgeous. Second of all, I'm a humongous Scorsese fan. I love a good mobster film, And the first two Mafias are very well liked. Mafia 3 is a more lukewarm reception, but that game looks great. So I thought it was coming to Switch. It's not. We got Empire of Sin. It's like Fire Emblem. Game. Yeah.
Mafia Fire Emblem, which sounds like something you would like.
So something that was just deeply off-putting. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Something's off-putting to me about it.
Not my wheelhouse, but I remember seeing that trailer at what was it, E3 2019, 20 I think it was last year actually, and I was like, whoa, this actually visually looks pretty good. Didn't hold up visually as much as I would have liked in this trailer, but I'm sure it'll be a good game. I mean, they've got fucking Romero on it. Isn't he the Doom guy, something like that?
John Romero is the Doom guy, yes.
Yeah, and I mean, this is his game. I'm pretty sure.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll buy it right now then, if I can preload it. Just kidding. I don't give a shit. What's next?
Balan Wonderman.
Wonder World, which is a confusing word. But here's the thing. Okay, Yuji Naka is very important. He's a very important individual to the course of game history, to Sega's history. Knights allegedly is a really wonderful series. But here's what I have to say. I've got no attachment personally to the aesthetic or design philosophy behind Saturn, Dreamcast era game design. It's just not my thing. This game clearly speaks to a very specific audience and clearly targets a very specific nostalgia. And hopefully it just turns out to be a fun 3D platformer, but nothing about it to me looks compelling.
No, yeah, and I think that's about how I feel too. I mean, I remember seeing this revealed and wondering why this was. Well, it was at a PlayStation conference or something. It was revealed, right? Or where was it revealed?
It's revealed at a weird place. I remember Jeff Keighley being involved. That's all I remember.
Yeah, but I remember it being something that people were like mildly interested in. But I mean, it really does not. I hope it's good, but it really does not seem like it's the big hitter that that Sega's expecting. Because maybe I'm pushing that, but visually this game is piss poor. Like seriously, it is flat as a fucking Dickens, and lighting
Dickens,
not fantastic. Like, look, I'm being pretty critical of visuals today, and in a way that I'm not usually. But I think, I mean, hopping off the PS5 yesterday, the Switch is starting to look a little bit pale in my eyes. even as someone
That's for
who's a
sure.
major Switch fan and major Nintendo fan, some of these games, one included PGA Tour 2K21, where they said visually impressive, something gorgeous courses, and I'm like, no, those trees look like wee trees. The lighting flatter than the Dickens.
I will say though, Monster Hunter Rise looks pretty good visually.
Yeah,
I think that looks nice. I think the RE engine is scaling really nicely to Switch. So that was a surprise for me visually.
yeah.
And I will keep mentioning it because it was the best game shown today.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I agree with you on the whole. I think it's part of a larger discussion about whether Nintendo's going to actually fucking throw out 30 years of history and release a 4K compatible Switch, which I just don't believe.
Yeah,
But it's possible. We can discuss that at a different time. But I think that's definitely a fair avenue to look at these games through.
yeah,
But I'm more Balan Wonderworld. It's like I'm just not a Sega boy.
yeah.
I'm just not.
Me
More about
either.
my fucking Metroids and my Koroks and my
King K.
my
Rool's.
King K. rules. Look at that.
And of course, you know me. I'm all about Ape Escape on the Loose in the PSP.
Are we down to one last game to discuss, or is there anything else?
I'm gonna sit a little quietly on this one.
Yeah.
The only thing
You
I have
want-
to say is that there is one very telling factor for an exciting announcement, and that is when my body doesn't lie, and I get fucking goosebumps, and I put my arm up to the camera, and you can see the excitement physically rendered on my skin. And only one game did that today.
There are
And
only
I know from the outsider's perspective, Monster Hunter is fucking cool or something, but genuinely, not me just being a motherfucker, the narrative on Twitter, as far as I could tell today, was that people were hyped for Monster Hunter, but that Ori and the Will of the Wisp coming to Nintendo Switch was the height of the show. And I think Nintendo also realizes that as they close the show with it, and it's their one more thing.
Sure. You were very excited when that happened. The two things in this planet that do not lie, polygraphs are very not trustworthy, but Shakira's hips and your fucking forearm hair are the two things that always tell the truth.
Sure.
I was I got caught up in the moment because goddamn Moon Studios bringing their 2020 Ori game to Switch with Microsoft's blessing, with Xbox Game Studios, little fucking Chiron down in the corner. That's really interesting. I think that's a really interesting thing to have happen. Do I remove from the immediate, oh my god, Caveman, here's a game that shouldn't be here but is, and it's coming out today, maybe I should buy it? If I remove myself from that, do I really want another Metroidvania? Can you really sit? I sat there and listened to Card in the Corner, Tucker and Landon talk fucking gallons and buckets about how wonderful this game is, but did anything in there show me why I should play it when I've played Hollow Knight and I've played Super Metroid and I've played all these Metroidvanias? No. Oh, but the story, okay, yeah, sure. Oh, but the visuals, yeah, it's a pretty game. But I care about mechanics, I care about fundamentals, I care about the experience. And okay, I've played a lot of Metroidvanias. Maybe I need to take a cool off. Maybe in a couple years, I'm more in the mood, I get a little bit removed from the genre, and I try it again. And then maybe it'll really resonate with me. But you can make your face all you want, but the fact is that is a Metroidvania. Very much a Metroidvania. I haven't played it yet. My PC could not run it. I don't have an Xbox. I will perhaps return to it down the line when I'm not so overexposed to the genre, and perhaps it'll hit differently. But right now, no. Just doesn't do it for me. Even though I respect and understand why people love it so much. From my personal perspective, more Metroidvanias is just not something I need. It's that simple.
Well,
nothing I said there was unreasonable.
I disagree, but it's not the time to get into that.
No.
I think ending on that note, hey.
Well, how about this? Here's something I want to say.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to end quite yet.
Okay.
You're trying to take the rug out, but here's the moment. I understand why. I understand why you want to leave on a point of controversy, a cliffhanger. Do we kill each other as soon as the camera goes off? Who knows? Well, here's what I want to say, and I want to put it in terms you're going to understand. There's a little movie called Avengers Infinity War. And there's a scene where Vision and Scarlet Witch are getting the fuck beaten out of them by one of Thanos' little lackeys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
I remember it.
he's got a fucking spear, right? And he
Mm-hmm.
throws it. There's a dodge, and it's get caught in the fucking darkness. And it's
Mm-hmm.
goddamn Chris Evans as Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
And that scene was badass. Captain America down and out, he's gone. What's happening? Comes out of the shadows, fucks some guys up, right? That
Mm-hmm.
shot's incredible.
I remember it.
September 2020 is Nintendo's analog to that. They're fucking
Sure.
Captain America in the shadows coming back out. We've got the Mario 35th Direct. We've got Age of Calamity. We've got this. Nintendo is making the moves that we spent a good few weeks thinking that they didn't have coming.
Yeah.
I'm incredibly optimistic about the Switch right now, not only from a first-party perspective but now from a third-party perspective. These are a lot of really lovely games.
Lovely.
Huge new exclusives from Capcom, huge new things all around. The fact that Microsoft and Nintendo are working a little bit closer means we could get some other games from them. It means a lot of things. It means that Japanese developers are back in Nintendo's corner. It means that they have a plan moving into 2021 and carrying us to the end of 2020. We're really, I think, riding in a good position. Going into next gen, I feel like Nintendo is in a good position. Are they in a great position? No, I would have done things a little bit differently. But I
Yeah.
think in this month, in the span of less than 3 weeks, Nintendo really course corrected their year
That's for sure.
and messaged, I think, a much healthier and more competitive ecosystem than we thought they were going to have for the fall and into the beginning of 2021.
That's true. And I mean, hey, we've got 14 hours, 13 hours till Mario, and you'll be playing that at midnight in your Jimmy Jam jams as you've let me know multiple times. And I'll be
Yes.
coercing Tanner into driving me to Best Buy tomorrow to pick it up, and we will have a stream tomorrow.
Yeah, we will.
Not an official. I guess that is an official announcement. We're having a stream tomorrow. I think we've already talked about that on other avenues, but we're streaming Mario 3D All Stars, and I'm excited. Let's wrap things up. But thank you very much for watching, everyone. I really hope that you guys enjoyed the partner showcase. You can go back and watch our reaction, which I probably should have put a card in the corner early in the video. Just I'll do it as the video opens. But I'm excited for the future, more so than I was. I was pretty down and out before, to be honest. But Nintendo certainly brought me back with this. There's a lot of really big game announcements here, and I will try Monster Hunter. I'll just put that out there. But see you guys in another video. Let's talk about Nintendo, not ass hair.